Welcome back. You're watching Chartbusters. Edelweiss Consumer Durable Day kicks off today, and we have Mr. Achal Bakeri, the Chairman and Managing Director of Symphony, joining us from the sidelines of that conference. Thanks a lot, Mr. Bakeri, for joining in. A lot of questions that investors want to know, especially ahead of the festive season and post-GST. How has this season started, especially the Onam sales coming in? Last quarter was slightly weak. Do you still maintain the 20-25% revenue guidance that you have for FY18? And volume growth, what can we do?
Very much so. We are back on track. We had a weak quarter. In the previous quarter was somewhat weak, but from the current quarter onward, July onwards, we are back on track, and we should be, back at our historical growth rates of both the top line and the bottom line.
All right, so Mr. Bakeri will actually grow by around 20-25%. That's a fair assumption. And margins in the first quarter, well, they were particularly weak. So we can expect a bounce back in the coming quarters?
Absolutely, starting with the current quarter.
Okay, all right, that looks pretty good. Then if you could help us out, Mr. Bakeri, what are the new products that you have been launching? What's the pipeline looking like? And what could that mean in terms of an opportunity, in terms of revenues and business?
Well, new product introductions is sort of a byword at Symphony. We had a very successful product range launched last year called Touch, which was really sort of, very, very successful. And this year, in last month, we've launched two new ranges of models. One is called Gesture, one is called Sense, which has gesture control in air coolers, and the other is called Diamond. Two very, very innovative ranges, and we expect both these ranges to contribute significantly to our growth.
Right, Mr. Bakeri, you spoke about innovation being the byword. Now let's go to the byword, B-U-Y. Are you buying any other companies? Kenstar's on the block. Are you in the fray?
No, we are not.
And what about your take, sir? So there is another competitor who comes in there and buys Kenstar. That would change the competitive matrix in your space. Your take on that?
I really believe it will materially change the competitive landscape because Kenstar exists. It's a fine company. They have great products, great team, and it's been around for 20 plus years. So whether the ownership changes from X to Y doesn't really change much the reality on the ground.
Right. Again, I'll stick to the byword itself. You had earlier hinted at a buyback. Is that happening? And I believe he cannot hear us. Perhaps we'll probably try to reconnect. Okay, now he can. Mr. Bakeri, you spoke about the byword again. So you had earlier hinted at a buyback. What's the update on that? And secondly, are you looking to buy any international company then?
Well, on the buyback, it's not something which, we will be doing something immediately. That is something very much on the horizon, and at the appropriate time, when there are enough funds to sort of do a meaningful buyback is something which we will do. On the international front, we are always open to acquisitions which give us access to markets where we are weak or not present in. So that is something which we are always on the lookout for.
Okay, Mr. Bakeri, thanks so much, sir, for stopping by and giving us all those details. I think your shareholders like what you're saying. As we speak, the stock moves to the high point of the day. So that's the management there of Symphony saying that, yes, they're going to be doing that 20-25% revenue growth that they have been talking about. Margins will bounce back from now on itself. And they're not interested in buying Kenstar. And they don't believe that it's going to change things materially as well. Stock moves to the high point of the day. But we wrap up on Chartbusters. You stay tuned. Trading Hour comes up next.